and welcome back to my channel and welcome to my favourite TBR video. February, I'm going really cliche with the theme. It's going to be all about love and relationships. As a permanently single gal, I thought what better way to enter the month of love than to torture myself reading about people in happy relationships and how they get to them. I will also have my Read Your Bookshelf Challenge book as well, which I think I should technically change, but I will explain why I'm not changing it. So on to the books. The first book on my TBR technically can fit my February theme, however I am carrying it over from January, and that is Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn. I started to read this book during a very, very busy week at work, and I just never got around to actually reading more than 10%. So that's book number one. For Read Your Bookshelf, the theme for, well, the prompt for February is to read a book where the colour on the cover is the direct opposite of your January reads on the colour wheel. My pick for January was A Psalm of Storm and Silence. I DNF'd this near the 50% mark, so because I got nearly 50% of the way through, I'm going to class this as my colour. Although technically I should change that. However, I didn't read any of the books I could fit January's theme, so let's go with that. And looking at the colour wheel that Chantel supplied us, the opposite colour is this lovely blue. I couldn't find an exact match, I think. However, I have picked The Guest House by Robin Morgan Bentley because there's so many blues on this cover that surely this blue must be somewhere on there. This is a mystery and I'm quite happy to get away from the fantasy and have a little bit of a sidestep away from the romance this month. She says, forgetting what the synopsis is: a happy couple with a baby on the way. So it fits. Jamie and Victoria are expecting their first baby. With a few weeks to go, they head off for a final weekend break in a remote part of the North Pennines. The small and peaceful guest house is the ideal location to unwind together before becoming parents. Upon arrival, they are greeted by Barry and Fiona, the older couple who run the guest house. They cook them dinner and show them to their room before retreating to bed themselves. The next morning, Jamie and Victoria wait to find the house deserted. Barry and Fiona are nowhere to be seen. All the doors are locked. Both their mobile phones and car keys have disappeared. Even though it's a few weeks early, Victoria knows that contractions are starting. The baby is coming, and there's no way out. There are 2 books going to be missing from this TBR. That is because my lovely colleagues Becky and Jelena are picking me a book each as well from their Kindle and their wide selection of what they've read. Becky has already given me her pick, but I can't remember what it's called. And Jelena is still picking, so there will be 2 more books, but they'll come from a weekly TBR, well, a weekly long video, not TBR. But the books to properly fit my theme of love is Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. This is a book that I got for Christmas from Ada. Ada really likes Ali's work. I got this from Ada and I was like, that's February's theme started. B. Königswasser. I butchered that name, I apologise. Here's how you say it, or spell it. I know I butchered that, so I'll just say B. Lives by a simple code. What would Marie Curie do? If NASA offered her the lead on a neuroengineering project, a literal dream come true, Marie would accept without hesitation. Duh. But the mother of modern physics never had to co-lead with Levi Ward. Sure, Levi is attractive in a tall, dark and piercing eyes kind of way, but Levi made his feelings towards Bee very clear in grad school. Arch enemies work best employed in their own galaxies far, far away. But when her equipment starts to go missing and the staff ignore her, Bee could swear she sees Levi softening into an ally, backing her plays, seconding her ideas, devouring her with those eyes. The possibilities have all her neurons firing. But when it comes time to actually make a move and put her heart on the line, there's only one question that matters. What will Bee do. I really enjoyed The Love Hypothesis. It was a 4.5 stars. 4 stars. There was one thing that I didn't like that took it down to 4. I'm hoping you're enjoying this one as much. Sticking with Ali Hazelwood, the next book on my TBR is her short stories, Loath to Love You. When it comes to romance books that I don't read a lot of, my number one trope is enemies to lovers. With it being Loath to Love You, I'm hoping there's a lot of that in here. There are 3 stories in this one. We have Under One Roof, Stuck With You, and Below Zero. In this collection, you follow Mara, Sadie and Hannah, who are friends first, scientists always. Though their fields of study might take them to different corners of the world, they can all agree on this universal truth. When it comes to love and science, opposites attract and rivals make you burn. So I'm guessing, well, I know in each story we follow one of these girls. So yes, a book full of enemies to lovers. I'm here for it. The next book on my TBR is The XX by Erin Sterling. Vivian Jones handled the biggest breakup of her life the way that any witch would. Vodka, bubble baths, and a curse on her ex. That was 9 years ago. Now Reese Penhallow, descendant of the town's founders, breaker of hearts and still irritatingly gorgeous, is back. Reese has returned to the quaint town of Graves Glen to recharge the ley lines and make an appearance at the annual fall festival. But when his every move results in calamity, Vivi realises that his hexing her ex might not have been so harmless after all. As the curse starts to affect the magic of the town, resulting in murderous wind-up toys, an outraged ghost, and a surprisingly talkative cat, Vivi and Reese must put their personal feelings aside and work together to break the curse and save not just the town, but also Reese's life. So I'm guessing exes come back together in this book. I'd really enjoy this one. I've seen it a lot on Book Talk and BookTube, so hopefully it's a good read. So there is my TBR for February, minus the 2 books on the Kindle. I don't know what they are yet. Well, haven't got them yet. I did have a couple more books on my actual physical TBR, but I took them off because I thought I'm not pressuring myself. If, of course, I read these 4 books and I read the 2 Kindle books and I've still got time to read another and I'm in the mood, I will, of course, pick up some more books, but let's see how that goes. If you have read any of these books on my TBR, please let me know your thoughts. I'm always interested to see what other people think of books. I'm slowly starting to update Goodreads with my reviews of books. I'm not doing my reading journal like normal. And it's quite interesting to see how many times my thoughts actually match what people have put on there that I well liked. Or I had the opposite view and I'm like, definitely not the genre for me then. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you are new to my channel, hi, my name's Michelle and my reading, like my life, is a chaotic mess. I read a variety of genres and my aim this year is to get my physical TBR shelves down to a shelf and a half, let's say. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so if you don't want to, not an issue. But until the next video, bye.